Hi friends, I am Dr. Muni Narayanappa, Associate Professor of Commerce and Principal working in Government First Aid College, Hoskote, Bengaluru Rural District. For BCom graduation, there is one subject, Management Accounting. In this subject, the major chapter is Fund Flow Statement, preparation of Fund Flow Statement. So today let us understand what is Fund Flow Statement, what are the steps involved in preparation of Fund Flow Statement, and how best we can understand this fund flow statement. Fund flow statement includes three words: fund, flow, and statement. Fund in generally, in a common parlance, working capital. What is working capital? It is the difference between current assets and current liabilities. How this fund or working capital, which is flowing in the business concern, flow either inflow of fund or outflow of fund in the business concern, and now this flow which is used by the business concern, that is application of funds, so that we can understand the financial inflow of our business concern and outflow of our business concern. So out of the generating assets in our business concern, out of the various sources that we are enjoying in the business concern, the business, the capital, that is working capital, the movement of working capital or flow of working capital can be understand by preparing this fund flow statement. It is a statement which shows sources and application of funds. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಮಗೆ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆ ಫಂಡ್ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಪಾತ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಾವೇನ್ ಕರಿತೀರಿ, ಫಂಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಕರೀಬಹುದು ನಾವು. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಹ ನಾವು ಫಂಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು. ಅಥವಾ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ವೇರ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೇರ್ ಗಾನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ಮೂಲದಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದಿರಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ we can say that it is a fund flow statement. Then how we can prepare this fund flow statement? What are the stages to be followed by the management accountant for preparation of fund flow statement? So for preparation of fund flow statement, following steps are needs to follow before to prepare fund flow statement. First one, preparation of changes in working capital, or it is also called schedule of changes in working capital. So the schedule needs to be prepared to ascertain what is the net increase or decrease in working capital. So that is a major item to the fund flow statement, and same which can be prepared by preparing this schedule of changes in working capital, or it is also called changes in working capital. So what are the items that we can take into preparation of this working capital? From the balance sheet, only current items we can draw. From the asset side, we can draw current assets. From the liability side, we can draw current liabilities. Taking into consideration, then we can see what is the net result, that is net increase in working capital or decrease in working capital, that shall be ascertained, and same result will be taken while preparing fund flow statement at the end. Then after preparing the schedule of changes in working capital and ascertaining what is the result, net increase or decrease, then we need to prepare various non-current ledger accounts. Non-current ledger accounts usually that we can find in balance sheet, which is supplied by the organization to the management accountant: share capital, reserve fund, profit and loss account, credit balance, debentures, fixed assets, fictitious assets, and likewise there would be many non-current ledger accounts also we can see in the balance sheet, and same for which there would be adjustments also, and particularly adjustment oriented ledger accounts compulsorily we have to open. All these adjustments we can incorporate and we can ascertain some value, same value that we can take into fund flow statement at the end stage. Then after having prepared various ledger accounts like share capital, reserve fund, fixed assets and whatnot, then we can move to preparing adjusted profit and loss account. So adjusted profit and loss account, which needs to prepare by the management accountant to ascertain what is the real profit which is earned by the business concern, or it is also called funds from operation, or real loss is sustained by the business concern, or it is also called real loss is sustained by the business concern. Profit and loss account already prepared by the financial accountant. It shows the net result, that is net profit or net loss. It is only for income tax purpose, or it is only for publication purpose, or it is only for business stakeholders. And remember, this profit is not the true profit. It is only a book profit. After having been taken all cash items and non-cash items, the profit or loss which is arrived or calculated by the financial accountant. Same shall not be taken by the management accountant for decision making, assuming that so much profit is earned by the business concern. And the simple reason here, many non-cash items are also taken into consideration while preparing profit and loss account by the financial accountant. For instance, depreciation on fixed asset, loss on sale of asset, preliminary expenses written off, profit on sale of asset. These are all the non-cash transactions. Non-cash transaction means these transactions will not have any impact on cash position. Cash ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಸಹ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ತೋರಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ನಾವಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೇಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. We need to take only cash items here. Excluding the non-cash items, we have to readjust our profit, we have to readjust our loss, excluding, making that exclusion of that non-cash items, non-fund items, taking into consideration only fund items. The result which needs to prepare, that result will be funds from operation or loss from operation. Same shall be taken into consideration while preparing fund flow statement at the end. Then after having prepared all these stages like working capital, opening non-current ledger accounts, and ascertaining funds from operation or loss from operation, then last stage, final stage, it is very easy, that is preparation of this fund flow statement. So preparation of fund flow statement job is very easy. Already we have prepared, we have followed all the stages wherein we have ascertained some values, some items, and same items we can take into consideration while preparing this fund flow statement. So likewise, usually management accountant follows these stages for preparation of fund flow statement, and we can, at the end we can prepare fund flow statement. The statement shows specifically what are all the sources of funds, so sources of working capital, and how this working capital being spent by the business concern, and then we can supply to the management for various managerial decision making. Now let us move on to working some problems on preparation of fund flow statement, so that we can understand much better while solving the problem. So let us take up one problem which is supplied by one organization, that is XY company. They have supplied this balance sheet for the two periods for the year ending 2015 and 16. And if you glance the balance sheet and asset side and liabilities, and you can find some of the items like equity share capital, reserve fund, creditors, and various other current liabilities, debentures, machinery, goodwill, figures recorded 35,600, 45,900, and furniture. Likewise, the clubbing together all assets and liabilities balance sheet is supplied for the period starting from 2015 to 2016. The adjustments regarding shares are issued, specifically says there was a capital earlier 1,50,000 and now it has increased to 2,00,000. Same thing which is explained here, specified here. 50,000 shares are further issued. Depreciation charged on machinery 1,500. Machinery sold for rupees 4,500. It's returned to a value 6,000 rupees. And same thing that we can take into consideration. It is a small problem, very simple problem. Out of this, let us try to work out fund flow statement, and finally we can see the sources and application. So as I mentioned earlier, what are the stages to be followed for preparation of this fund flow statement. Stage number 1, which I have mentioned earlier, preparation of schedule of changes in working capital or statement showing changes in working capital. So statement showing changes in working capital, it is a statement. It has some columns like serial number. You can take current assets and current liabilities, and 2 periods we can mention here for the period for which the data is given, and then we can find 2 columns here. What is the impact on working capital, whether it is increase or decrease, 2 columns, last one. Then finally we can balance the statement. The resulting figure will be net increase or decrease in working capital. So let us move on to work out the net increase or decrease in working capital. Before to fill this schedule of changes in working capital, so let us have some changes impact on working capital on account of changes in current assets and current liabilities. So I have summarized the information in the form of chart, how the current assets increase and decrease, which will have impact on working capital. The first line says increase in current asset. There is a arrow mark, increase in current asset, increase in current asset, results also increase in working capital. So remember, when current assets increases, the working capital also increases. On the other hand, decrease in current asset, decrease in working capital. So when current assets decreases, working capital also decreases. Here the direction will be same. When current assets increases, working capital also increases. When current assets decreases, working capital also decreases. It goes in the same direction. That point we have to kept in mind while preparing schedule of changes in working capital. If you go to current liabilities, you can find increase in current liability. There is an increase in current liability, arrow mark, increase in current liability, decrease in working capital. Here working capital will have opposite direction. That impact will have opposite direction, decrease in working capital. On the other hand, decrease in current liability, decrease in current liability, increase in working capital. So this statement says current assets increases, working capital also increases. Current assets decreases, working capital also decreases, which means it goes in the same direction. When current items changes, working capital also which goes in the same direction. When current liabilities changes, either increase or decrease, working capital goes in opposite direction. So this point we have to remember to fill the schedule of changes in working capital. Then we can easily ascertain what is the net increase or decrease in working capital. So let us look into a problem. What all the items are given? Only current items which needs to draw here. Sundry debtors, cash in hand, stock. Only 3 current items are given. So let us take one by one. 76,000, 1,45,000 rupees is given. Take one by one only current items. Sundry debtors 76,000 in the year 2015, 1,45,000 rupees in the year 2016. There is an increase in current asset. Naturally, as per our discussion, there is also increase in working capital. What is the increase here? 69,000 rupees increase in working capital. Remember, when current assets increases, working capital also increases. Then take another item in the balance sheet, that is cash in hand. Cash in hand we can take into consideration now. Cash in hand 24,000 rupees last year, and this year 56,000 rupees. Again, there is a increase in cash in hand or increase in current asset. It also results in increase in working capital. Here also there is an increase by rupees 32,000 rupees working capital. Then another item, that is a stock. Stock recorded in the year 2015 or 4,15,900, but in the year 2016 stock valued at 3,74,600. So here there is a decrease in current asset. Stock is a current asset, decrease in current asset. Now the changes, it is opposite. Opposite, as I said earlier, opposite, there is a decrease in working capital 41,300. So the difference in between 4,15,900 and 3,74,600, 41,300 decrease in working capital. So it opposite direction. Then let us go to liability side. Creditors is there. 56,000 piece last year. This year 45,000. Again we can see there is a decrease, reduction in current liability, reduction in creditors. When current liabilities reduces, working capital goes opposite direction, increase in working capital by rupees 11,000. Then draw another item, that is bank overdraft, recorded in the year 2015 1 lakh, and it has 1,25,000 in the year 2016. Again there is an increase in current liability, increase in overdraft, also we can say increase in current liability. Opposite direction, the impact on working capital, decrease in working capital by rupees 25,000. 25,000 difference in between 1 lakh and 1,25,000 rupees, it has uh, decreased the working capital by rupees 25,000. Then other current item which we can find in balance sheet, outstanding expenses last year 1,500, that is in the year 2015, and this year 2,500. Again there is an increase in current liability. Opposite we can see here, opposite, that is 1,000 piece, that is decrease in working capital. So after drawing all the current items, we have drawn sundry debtors, cash in hand, stock from the balance sheet, no other current items. And here also sundry creditors, bank overdraft, outstanding expenses, only 3 current liabilities, remaining all non-current ledger accounts. We can open separate ledger accounts. That means we have taken all the items. Now we can balance this statement and we can try to ascertain what is the net increase or decrease in working capital. Now what is the total? Total highest total in increase column 1,12,000 piece. Same total we can write in another column also 1,12,000 piece. And what is the balance sheet figure? Balance sheet figure 44,700. How we can name this 44,000? That is 44,700. That is most important. Whether to write to this 44,700 increase in working capital or a decrease in working capital. Remember, this 44,700 it has come in decrease column, decrease in working capital column. So right opposite to that, that is net increase in working capital. Net increase in working capital compared to 2015 and 16 recorded 44,700. This 44,700 we can take into consideration at the end while preparing fund flow statement. Then move on to other ledger accounts which needs to prepare apart from the schedule of changes in working capital. Various ledger accounts we are going to open now by looking into liability side and asset side of the balance sheet. Equity share capital account, reserve fund account, creditors already we have drawn, taken, bank overdraft also treated, outstanding expense also treated, debenture account, machinery account, goodwill account, then furniture account. So these accounts we are going to open, and we are opening only adjustment oriented ledger accounts. Remaining ledger accounts we are writing directly without opening ledger accounts. Directly we are recording in fund flow statement. So let us prepare ledger accounts one by one. First one, share capital account. It is a compulsory share capital account which needs to prepare here because there is adjustment. Write opening balance and closing balance. Remember, share capital is a liability. When any liability account you are opened and you are writing opening balance, always write its opening balance credit side by balance brought down. Always. It is a mandate. It is a compulsory. Whenever we are opening a liability account, share capital account or debenture account or profit and loss account, credit balance account or any other liability account we have opened, always its opening balance you would write credit balance, credit side. The simple reason, liabilities always shows credit balance. Then closing balance we can write opposite, that is 2 lakh. Then there is adjustment here. 50,000 shares are issued during the year. So this we can incorporate in the share capital account. When shares are issued, the cash we are receiving, right credit side, buy cash. Cash we are receiving, cash new shares are issued, cash account data to share capital account, 50,000 piece cash received. This 50,000 piece is a source to the business concern. So we can write in fund flow statement sources side. So this account is balanced. Then we can move on to next ledger account, next non-current ledger account like reserve fund. So reserve fund account also is given here. Write opening balance, closing balance. Write opening balance always credit side, by balance brought down and to balance carried down. Is there any appropriations are made during this year? So there is a change here, 2,50,000 rupees in the year 2050, and it has gone up to 2,75,000. That indicates during this year, from profit and loss account, 25,000 rupees amount is appropriated. So this appropriation, it is a non-cash transaction, which will not make any impact on cash position. So it has to be taken into consideration. Same, we need to transfer to adjusted profit and loss account. By adjusted profit and loss account, the difference amount 25,000 rupees, we can give debit to the adjusted profit and loss account, credit to the reserve fund account, because this amount will not have any cash outflow or inflow. So ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಬಂದಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬುಕ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಬುಕ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ನಾವು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಸಹ ನಾವು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. Then we can move on to next ledger account, that is machinery account. There is adjustments is also given. Machinery account, it is an asset account. Remember, it is an asset account. When any asset account you have opened, and if you are writing opening balance, always its opening balance you would write debit side. Debit side. Always you have to write debit side. Since the simple reason, all assets always shows debit balance. That's what we have to write, that opening balance debit side and closing balance credit side. Then is there any adjustments to this machinery account? There is a depreciation charged on this machinery. 1,500 is depreciation. It is also non-cash item, or it is also called non-fund item. Same that we can transfer to adjusted profit and loss account. Then is there any sales made in respect of machinery? Part of the machinery sold during this year for rupees 4,500 rupees. 4,500 rupees, that is the cash received. Cash received, cash account data to machinery account. It is a source to the business concern. Now, what is the result out of this machinery sold? There is a loss on sale of machinery. 6,000 written down value machinery was sold for rupees 4,500 rupees. The result difference 1,500 rupees is a loss. It is also non-cash transaction, which is to be taken into consideration while preparing adjusted profit and loss account. You same thing that you are transferred to adjusted profit and loss account. So much profit is increased, we can ascertain what is funds from operation. Then after having posted all the items, then balance is adjusted profit and loss account. Total 53,400. Same you can write in debit side also. Now what is the balance sheet figure? 17,800. Now what is the label that we can give? 17,800 we can presume here, we can assume here. 17,800 pieces to debit side ನಮಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Now what is the assumption? There would be purchase of machinery. Otherwise machinery value would have not been 45,600. Opening balance 35,600 ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ? There would be chances to purchase machinery. That balance figure we can treat as machinery purchase. This purchase, same thing we can take into purpose statement in application side. The fund. Then we can move on to preparing adjusted profit and loss account. So remember, in all ledger accounts, wherever non-cash transactions or non-fund items are there, just we have transfer to adjusted profit and loss account. In adjusted profit and loss account, same you have to write in respective place. Before to write all the items, write opening balance and closing balance. Write opening balance, closing balance. In balance sheet liability side, there would be transaction, there would be item profit and loss account credit balance. So that profit and loss account credit balance we can take into this adjusted profit and loss account as a opening balance and closing balance. In this problem, there is no profit and loss account opening balance and closing balance. Just you can write balance nil. Then closing balance also nil. There is no closing balance. Then any non-fund items we have recorded earlier in various ledger accounts. Non-fund items we have recorded. Non-fund items. Goodwill written off 10,000. We have not opened a goodwill account on the reason that there is no adjustments regarding the goodwill. 50,000 rupees in there 2015, 40,000 rupees in the year 2016. That means during this year 10,000 rupees goodwill is written off. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚು ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 10,000 ಅಷ್ಟು ಗುಡ್ವಿಲ್ ನಾವು ರೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಈ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಂದ ಹೋಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ನಾನ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಐಟಮ್, ಇದು ನಾನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಅಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಗುಡ್ವಿಲ್ 10,000 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ 10,000 ಅಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ಅದರ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಡೆಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ 1,500 ನಾವು ಖರ್ಚು ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಸಹ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಿಷನರಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇದೆ. ದೆನ್ ಅಪ್ರಾಪ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 25,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದೆ. ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡೆಡ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ 25,000. This transaction also will not have impact on cash. Same thing that you have taken into consideration. Our funds increases by rupees 25,000. And loss on sale also it is a book loss, not actual loss. Same thing that we have taken in machinery account credit side, right opposite in adjusted profit and loss account debit side. So this statement, this account takes into consideration those items are debited or credited earlier in profit and loss account, which we have to make reverse here. That indicates profit increases or decreases. Then we can balance this adjusted profit and loss account, seeing that all items are taken or not. All items that we have taken, I think. Then we can balance this account, adjusted profit and loss account, 38,000 rupees debit side total, and credit side same thing that we can write. We can balance it 38,000 rupees. What is the difference? It is a funds from operation. That is actual profit which is earned by the business. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಲಾಭ ನಮಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವೀಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ನಾನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಖರ್ಚು ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಿಜವಾದ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್, ರಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್, ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದರ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರಲ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್. So by this all ledger accounts we have opened, then job will be very easy. Just we can post the transactions or items to the fund flow statement, and this fund flow statement we are preparing in a vertical format, sources and application. Usually the contents of fund flow statement, sources, then applications. Just we can write all the items in fund flow statement. Before to write items in fund flow statement, first two more important items compulsorily we have to record. Two more items. Number one is what is the result in changes in working capital, either net increase in working capital or decrease in working capital. That is the first item we have to record in fund flow statement. Record that changes in working capital. Changes in working capital 44,000 rupees. That is calculated earlier. Same thing we have taken into application. Remember, when working capital increases, it is an application. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 44,700 rupees ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರೆ. Then another item, most important item which needs to take into fund flow statement is funds from operation. ಎಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಬಂದಿದೆ, that is also is to be taken. Funds from operation is 38,000, always is a source. Loss from operation ಏನಾದ್ರು ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಆ ಲಾಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಿಗರ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. there is a funds from operation, it is always source. The source you have taken into consideration 38,000 rupees. Then after posting these two important items, that is result of this adjusted profit and loss account and result of our working capital changes statement, then we can write various other inflow of items and outflow of items. So there is a issue of shares 50,000. No doubt it is a inflow to the business. ನಮಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ 50,000 ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಇದು ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೀವು. ದೆನ್ ಮೆಷಿನರಿ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೈ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು 4,500 ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರಿ. ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡಿಟಾರ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸರ್ಡ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರಿ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, 4,500 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನಾವು ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿರೋದು ಏನಿದೆ, ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ಸ್ ರಿಪೇಡ್ 10,000. For this also we have not opened ledger account. Debentures account ಸಹ ನಾವು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. 1 lakh that is in the year 2015 and 90,000 in the year 2016. 10,000 rupees reduced here. Now what does it mean? Reduction means there is a repayment of debenture or redemption of debentures by rupees 10,000. 10,000 ಅಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ದುಡ್ಡು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ, ನಾವು ರೀಪೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಅಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಹ ನೀವು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಾಲ ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗ 90,000 ಸಾಲ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 10,000 ಸಾಲ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ರಿಪೇಡ್. 10,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಷಿನರಿ, ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಿಗರ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಮೆಷಿನರಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. when we opened a machinery account, balance figure arrived rupees 17,800 rupees. This 17,800 rupees, that is we presume it is a purchase, machinery purchase ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು assumption ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಹೋಗಿದೆ, ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ. ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ machinery purchase 17,800. By this we have drawn all items from various ledger accounts we have prepared. Then we can see whether the total would come or not. Total. Then one more item, purchase of machinery. That is also we have not opened the ledger account. Machinery, sorry, furniture. Furniture 56,000 and 76,000 rupees. Earlier 56,000 and then 76,000 rupees. 20,000 rupees machinery purchased. Directly we can record this 20,000 rupees amount that is spent by the business concern. ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ 56,000 ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದ ಫರ್ನಿಚರ್ 76,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 20,000 ಅಷ್ಟು ಫರ್ನಿಚರ್ ನಾವು ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ದೆನ್ ಫರ್ನಿಚರ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ 20,000. ಈಗ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಟೋಟಲ್ 92,500 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾದ್ರೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಟೋಟಲ್ 92,500 rupees. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಗೆ XY ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ಡ್ 92,500. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್? ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ 38,000 rupees ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋದು 50,000 ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಮಿಷನರಿ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 4,500 rupees ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಟ್ಟು ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗಿರೋದವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಫಂಡ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದವ್ರಿಗೆ 92,500. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಫಂಡ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, ಹೌ ದಿಸ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್. ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ 44,700 rupees ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ಸ್ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ 10,000 ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮೆಷಿನರಿ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ 17,800 rupees ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಫರ್ನಿಚರ್ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ 20,000 rupees ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕಲಿ ಸೇಸ್ how the fund is generated by the business concern. 92,500 fund is received by the business concern and same amount being spent on various purposes like investing on working capital 44,700, debenture amount is repaid 10,000, machinery purchase 17,800 rupees and purchase of machinery 20,000. By looking this fund flow statement, the sources and application, management can take various managerial decision. Thank you.